One of the most asked questions when it comes to graphic design, do I have to have a degree to become a designer? Is school really worth it as a designer? Today, I am going to give you a perspective that not many other designers do when it comes to this topic, as I actually did graduate and do have my BFA in graphic design. So the question is, do I feel like by having a degree, I have had more opportunities in design? Honestly, yes and no. Don't you love that? Getting both answers to a question? Okay, but hear me out. I have experience with applying for graphic design jobs without a degree and applying with one. And I'm going to share with you my experience in both instances. Now, first and foremost, you absolutely do not have to have a degree in graphic design in order to be a designer. So if you've been thinking about pursuing design but haven't started yet because you're afraid of not having that degree, quit thinking that way, please. You are perfectly capable. There are so many resources to learn graphic design without even having a degree. One way is by doing what you're doing right now and watching other graphic designers on YouTube and learning their processes, strategy, and advice. Honestly, even after getting my degree, there are many times that I feel like I learned more just by watching YouTube videos than I ever did through my formal education. Now, that said, having a degree can help you land a job, as employers do like to see the commitment that you've made to yourself as a designer. Let me just give you an example. I applied for a job in graphic design around 5 or so years ago, and this was before I had even thought to get a degree. I didn't even get an interview. Fast forward about 8 months or so, I applied for the exact same position again at the same exact company, and I landed an interview. Nothing was different except for the fact that on my resume, under education, I had Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design listed, along with my anticipated graduation date. Now, what is interesting here is that I got an interview even though I hadn't fully graduated. So once I went in for my interview, I actually shared with the hiring team how I had applied for the job previously, and being rejected inspired me to pursue a degree. And you will never guess what happened next. That's right, within a week, I was offered the job and I accepted it. What I think happened here was that the employer saw the initiative that I had, as they now knew that I was willing to dedicate the time to furthering my education. And they liked that. Literally nothing, not my portfolio or anything, had changed between my first application and my second, other than adding in a college to my resume. Now, let me give you the flip side of this. I just gave you a pretty solid reason for getting a degree, but here's why now 2.5 years later, I regret going to school. Okay, I shouldn't say regret, because I did learn a lot and I had experience that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And now a selling point for me at any time is that I have a BFA in graphic design. So it makes it sound like I have more experience now. Let's just say I would be content with no degree if I didn't have one, but really only for one reason, and one reason only. Because I decided to pursue freelancing opposed to working for an in-house company or design agency. I decided to work for myself, so I don't really care whether I have a degree or not, because I know how my skills level up, and that's all that matters for myself. But I can use it to sell my services to prospective clients. Maybe they would feel less risk choosing me as their designer over someone else who doesn't have a degree. But the answer to the question of do you need to have a degree to be a graphic designer is a flat out no. The question we're asking today of is school worth it as a graphic designer? The answer is maybe. It can definitely give you an upper hand in the competitive field of graphic design. Truthfully, you have to take a moment to just reflect on what you want and decide if you think that school is worth it for you. At the time that I attended college, school was 100% worth it for me, as I wanted an in-house design job. Now, my career path has shifted, so at this point in my life, I probably would have chosen not to go to school. So take some time to sit back and just ask yourself a few questions. Do you want to work as an in-house agency or freelance graphic designer? Do you want to have the ability to say that you have a degree? Is it important to you to have a formal education under your belt? What are your learning preferences? Also, ask yourself some more deeper personal questions, such as what are your financial circumstances? And what are your current responsibilities, and how would school impact those responsibilities? For me, school cost me around $50,000. I had to really sit back and think, was I willing to spend this kind of money on my education? Luckily for me, I had started saving up whenever I was pretty young because I did always know that I wanted to go to college. I just didn't know what for. So I was able to make that jump and spend the money on the education. I did also have a child during this time, so I also gained the title of mother, and that took a pretty big toll on homework nights and spending time with my family versus doing my homework and getting good grades in school. These are all questions that you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to make that commitment and sacrifice some certain areas of your life? After you've taken the time to reflect, you should be able to make a better decision on whether or not you'd like to pursue a formal education in graphic design. I can tell you from personal experience that you will be okay regardless of what decision you make. School does not define you. A degree does not define you. You are perfectly capable of learning graphic design and becoming a graphic designer by using other resources than school, including watching design videos on YouTube. If you watched this far and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Watching my channel will provide you with valuable resources, tutorials, and insights into graphic design without a formal education, helping you on the path of graphic design and standing out in the field. You can achieve this, and I hope that I can be a part of your success journey. But for now, until the next video, remember to become the brand, and bye!